Now, I know I'm going to be scolded, I'm going to be abused by this particular one, but today in this video, we want to answer the big question. Is land still valuable, or can you make profits, or is land still profitable in Uganda? Well, the straight answer to this question is a yes and a no, because of the various reasons that I'm actually going to break down to you in this particular video. So please calm down, listen, watch until the end. For starters, I will want to use this as a disclaimer. There is a popular saying that a lot of people use globally, not just in Uganda. They use it everywhere. And the quote goes, they don't make land anymore. So please, when you get an opportunity to buy land, please buy it. That is total crap. That statement is often used by brokers or people that are dealing in land, people that are directly benefiting from you purchasing or buying the land. What if I told you that just because you bought land does not necessarily guarantee that you'll make profit out of the day? Yet we all know that land appreciates over time. So before we even go further, my name is Dennis Duke Wonyala. If you're new here, please do ensure that you subscribe. Don't forget to follow me on social media, most especially on X at Dennis Duke UG. Also, guys, in case you want to do some construction in Uganda, there's only one company that I can recommend to you that does and will deliver material, quality material, and on time on your site. So whether you're outside the country, they can deliver. You know, a lot of you get cheated. You order for 1,000 bricks or 10,000 bricks and they deliver to you 8,000 bricks. That does not happen with Ram Construction. We have quality products, quality materials for construction. We do use Sinotrack. So please do reach us out on those numbers and we shall be glad to serve you. So for starters, let me head straight to the conversation that we want to have today. Now, land is a fixed asset. Once you invest in it, you will have banked your money until maturity. Now, when we talk about maturity, this is basically the time when you decide or choose to actually sell your land. It doesn't bring in money on a daily, weekly, or on a monthly basis, but land only brings in money when you sell it. Unless you're going to get that land and rent it out to people to use it either for agriculture or for other commercial purposes, whether they set up a building and they keep giving, paying you for actually that particular land. That's the only time. Other than that, which I believe 90% of the people who buy land are just leaving it there to appreciate over time. Now, the truth of the matter is people invest in land with one thing: hope that one time it will make them a profit at a larger or at a later scale. Now, that is what we call appreciation. Land appreciates every single day. But the truth that land sellers don't tell you, because for them they're after making money, is that the level of appreciation of your land largely depends on a key or a few things. Number one, the level of urbanization. Number two, the economic growth of that particular area. Number three, strong demand for both residential and commercial purposes. Now, many of you have gone to spaces where none of this is existent, and you still expect, your lands to appreciate at the same level where somebody took all these things into consideration. My darling, it's not going to happen like that. Therefore, this brings me to my first conclusion. Do not just buy land. Study the market and make the best buy. Now, this is not for someone who is buying land just to have something in their name. No, because there are people who just want to have something. I mean, for them, they are happy. But for me, if you're going to do land as a business, I want you to invest in something and get the most out of your land investment. Now, we can all fool ourselves and, pretend that, well, it's not all about profits all the time. Sweetheart, that's all many of us want to do. We want to buy something cheaply and be able to sell it later at quite a good margin of profit. My number 2 point, most buyers of land, in fact, if not all, but most buyers of land buy from a land realtor, most of the time we call them dealers. Sometimes we call them, or we even buy from brokers, not the real owners. So brokers, because they can afford a huge chunk, they go to somebody who is selling, distressed person, they buy from them, then they come and now sell to us. So usually the sellers are retailers. Their commodity is land. So they have to buy at a certain price today and sell at a higher price tomorrow to be able to make a profit. Now, trust me on this. If you've been or doing business, you've done business before, you very well know that you cannot make money buying retail goods. And if you're to do, it will be really, really small. Now, if the land was increasing in value like they usually say, then why on earth would you think the business real or the realtor will sell it? Think about it. Think you are their target. That is why they are selling that land, to be able to make a profit. So land appreciates, but you have to be smart. Now, still on this, work on your cash flows first, then build liquidity. Anyone with cash flow is king in the market. Having liquidity helps you buy land from distressed people when you don't need the land. You literally take advantage of those in need. So you buy from those who rushed to invest in that particular land without proper planning. Those with problems will always sell their land at a lesser value than the actual market value. And that's why you need to have cash. Okay? Sometimes just have cash lying somewhere that when somebody cries of a challenge, this one wants to take children to school, this one has a sick parent, that's how just the life operates. You gain because somebody else has lost. We all can't gain at the same time. I don't know if you get what I mean. I don't mean to, there's that gaining while others are losing that is bad. But there's gaining because somebody has a problem and you chip in, you buy their property at a very lower price than when than the market price. Then when it reaches for you to sell, again, don't sell because you have a problem. Don't sell because you have a need that you need to address at that particular time. Sell because, well, you want to make profit out of it, so that your prices are determined by the forces of demand and supply, including the value of land at that particular time and in that particular area. Otherwise, if you also sold when you have problems, you're going to be forced to sell it at a lesser value than the market value. Meaning, if you bought land at 20, you can even sell it at 15 or even 10 because you're distressed. And that brings me to point number 3. Buy land strategically. Not every piece or plot of land that you buy is actually going to be worth what people are telling you it actually is. Let me give you a scenario. You can buy land, okay, in Mukono at about 30 million at a place where the value of land is actually 15 million. For you buy it at 30 million. Now, after like 5 years, you expect to sell it at about 50 million. Yet the value of land in that particular area has not, or has only gone up to 30 million. Now, when faced with challenges, you sell it at 25 million because you have a problem. To me, that's a total loss. And even if you didn't have a problem, you can only sell it at 30 million because that is the actual value of land in your area at that particular time, because you bought it expensively and now you have to sell it because you can't sell more than the market price. We know these prices of land in these areas. Of course, there's a little bit of variation, but still it doesn't go way too high and it doesn't go way too below. It's just somewhere there. Did you guys know that it is very easy for you to go out there and purchase land? Okay, you can maybe spend a few days, maybe a week or so, and you actually land on land, okay, and you buy it. But when it comes to you selling that particular land, well, if you're lucky enough, maybe a day or two, lucky enough, maybe a week. But most times, the ones that I've seen, they take a lot of time on the market. Now, That is something that they also do not tell you, because land brokers or land dealers are after that money that you give them because they make a profit out of it. Buying land, very easy. Finding it, very easy. But selling it back is usually a challenge, most especially when it is not located in the city center or in an urban center or in a town. I hope you get to learn a few things here. So the bottom line, when we are dealing with investments or land or business, one of the key things we need to do is we need to change our perspective when it comes to savings, business, investments, and finance as a whole. Now, while there are some, stability and peace of mind when dealing in land, sometimes the returns are not as high as they tell you, most especially again if you don't play along the rules of the game. Now, most of us are traditionally and by way of design emotionally attached to land and own house long-term security belief that we have completely blocked our minds from learning a few things. Yes, naturally, culturally, traditionally, everybody needed land, but now we want to do things differently. We need to do things differently because times have changed. You need to work street smart. Now, it's very, very important that your land shouldn't be as, unless the worst comes to the worst, like medical bills. I mean, echichocho inache chikununula. But most people have actually made losses when dealing in these particular lands. In conclusion, therefore, I talked about cash inflows, risk factor, growth rate, liquidity, inflation rate, return on investment. If we used these words and we understood what exactly they meant, we would be a generation of amazing stuff. So please, instead of us just not making ourselves better, let's try to learn. Now, in this generation we are today, if you are not doing good, if you are not learning, if you're not improving yourself, it's not because there are no avenues for you to do that. It's because you've deliberately not decided to do it. But as a matter of fact, as I speak this, there are so many ways you can better yourself on a daily basis. There are so very many options, very many platforms. We currently have ChatGPT. It teaches you a lot, but it only needs you to put in the effort, ask it the questions that matter, read a lot, do expansive reading. That's the only way you're going to be exposed. Remember, your level of exposure determines your character, determines how you think, how you operate, and so very many other things. This is a generation of young people. We need to take charge. Our parents, our grandparents are dead. Our parents are phasing out. We are the generation that is coming in. So when we come here to talk about investment, it's not because we know a lot. No, it's because the little we know we want to share with somebody else who probably doesn't have it. My name is Dennis Duke Wonial. Until then, see you. Don't forget to follow us and also go to Sungura House and eat some amazing foods. Goodbye.